Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome all the devotees once again. So 3 days we had not conducted our classes because I was not there in Jaipur. I had gone to Vrindavan. So because of that, uh, my voice is also a little bit choked up. I'm not able to speak properly. But anyway, I'll take the class today. So our discussion has reached to the point where Arjun has asked Krishna to place the chariot in the midst of both the armies. And Krishna followed Arjuna's instruction and he drove the chariot between the parties, both the parties. Now, after Krishna placed the chariot between both the parties, there was one higher plan which was working, which was not known to the people who were present there, all the fighters. None of them were knowing about the higher plans of the Lord. Very few, a few people were knowing that this battlefield of Kurukshetra, this is external reason. There is higher reason for this battlefield, why this battlefield is arranged, why we all are here. Who is the mastermind? Who is doing all this master plan? This was all known to a few people, not all. So purposefully, Krishna stationed the chariot on the request of Arjuna between both the parties. But here, higher planning and the universal plan of Krishna was working. So purposefully, he stopped the chariot in front of Arjuna's most dear grandfather Bhishma and Arjuna's teacher Dronacharya, to whom Arjuna was very much attached because the father, Arjuna's father, prematurely he died out of disease. He died. So now all the affection of a father was given to the Pandavas by Bhishma. Bhishma took care of the Pandavas very nicely and grew them, giving all the paternal affection to Pandavas. And under the care of Bhishma, Pandavas have grown up. And now the situation is so arranged by higher will of providence that Arjuna has to fight with that same person by whom he was raised. He was given all the affection, paternal affection, everything, all the needs, all the necessities were given by Bhishma, were supplied by Bhishma to Arjuna, especially Arjuna, because Arjuna was one of the pet son, grandson of Bhishma. So, and that same affectionate child with whom Bhishma had shown, he had showered so much of compassion and mercy and his affection. Now that same child, he has come standing ready to fight and kill. So this is very, very unusual situation which is arranged here in the battle. So before we continue again, till this point we have discussed in our last class, and now today we will continue from there. But before we start, let us chant some prayers. So I request all of you to kindly join. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Okay, so now Bhishma and all the people, especially Duryodhana, Kauravas, led by Duryodhan, they are very excited. They are most very enthusiastic to kill the Pandavas. But on the other hand, when Pandava, especially Arjuna, when he saw Yudhishthir, he saw Bhishma and Dronacharya, then something happened to Arjuna. So what happened? I'll share you the screen. Kindly look into it and then we'll discuss it. Nice. So now Arjuna is going to speak to Krishna. So the verse is here till 27th verse we had discussed last class. What was the translation? When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives. So as I had explained that there were 10 grades of friends and relatives of Arjuna. 10 grades. The 10 kinds of different relatives were present, friends and relatives of Arjuna. So therefore now Arjuna has become overwhelmed with compassion. The Arjuna situation is now he is very much overwhelmed by the compassion by seeing these different grades of friends and relatives. So now Arjuna is going to say something to Krishna. So it is very interesting. Now here the whole situation gets changed. Here this particular series of verses are going to create a platform. Here divine energy, the divine will of the Lord is going to intervene here from this verse where Arjuna is going to speak. So the verse is Arjuna Uvacha Dristvemam Swajanam Krishna Yuyotsum Samupastitam Sidanti Mam Gatrani Mukham Cha Parishshati. Meaning Arjuna Uvacha means Arjuna said, Uvacha means bola, Dristvemam, Drishtva means देखना, imam means यह, Swajanam, Swa means अपने, Jana means log, people, our own. So Drishtve imam Swajanam, Krishna. Oh Krishna, Arjuna is speaking to Krishna. What he is speaking? After seeing Drishtve, by seeing his own, Swajana means his own people. Yuyotsum Samupastitam, they are assembled to fight. Yuyotsum means to fight, Samupastitam, they are assembled. Seeing his own near and dear ones in the fighting spirit, and they have assembled, then what happened to Arjuna? Sidanti mama gatrani. Gatrani means limbs, and mam means my. Mera limbs means the different parts of the body. Sidanti means they started fevering. So what symptoms started Arjuna started showing here? Sidanti mama gatrani. Arjuna's different limbs started fevering. Mukham च परिशुष्यति, च means and, और परिशुष्यति means पूरी तरीके से सूख जाना. शुष्यति means सूखना, dry up. परिशुष्यति means completely dried up. Mukha means mukh, throat. So now Arjuna's mouth is completely dried up and his limbs are quivering when he saw his own near and dear ones. They are assembled in the fighting spirit. So this Arjuna said to Krishna. So now here is very unusual situation. Arjuna, his body is quivering, so this is not normal for Arjuna. Arjuna's body should not quiver because what all had happened with Pandavas. These Kauravas, they what not they did. They had done all kinds of mischievous activity to Arjuna, Pandavas. Just like in last classes, I had discussed that they not only tried to kill Bhima, but also tried to kill all the Pandavas. Not only Pandavas, but they wanted to disrobe, they wanted to dishonor Draupadi also in the assembly by disrobing her, by making her naked. So not only to Bhima, but all the Pandavas, they were planning and cheating with them, planning to kill them. And in fact, they sent them, Kauravas and the Duryodhana and party, they sent them, these Pandavas, for exile for 13 years. That one year was incognito, Agyatwas. In that 1 year, if suppose, what is Agyatwas? Incognito means 12 years they will live in the forest, even if anybody recognize, no matter. But 1 year incognito, nobody should witness or recognize the Pandavas. Where are they? If suppose somebody could find out, anybody from the Kauravas side, anybody could find out that here are the Pandavas staying, then their exile will again extend to again 12 years. So this was incognito. So one complete year, Pandavas, they had to be in incognito situation. Means they should not be exposed by anyone. Now just see, so very difficult situation for the Pandavas. So that time Pandavas and Draupadi, they disguised themselves, they guised in different forms, took different duties and activities. Arjuna started, in Virat Naresh. There was one place of called Virat. So under the king of Virat, means that was Virat Naresh, they took shelter, that too in disguised form. And there Arjuna was acting as a teacher and dancer. Dance, he will teach dance and many other things. So, and Bhima would act as cook. He was cooking. So, like that, all other people they were acting and doing different kinds of activities, hiding their own talents. Arjuna was hiding his own talent of archery, and there only Arjuna taught lesson to Uttara, and Uttara got attracted by Arjuna, but because the age gap was very high, lot of age gap was there, so Arjuna accepted Uttara, but not as her own, as his own wife, but his son's wife. So Uttara got married to Arjuna's son was Abhimanyu. So that is how one complete year Arjuna was living, Pandavas were living incognito because of these Pandavas. So what not this, sorry, because of this Duryodhana and party. So what not this Kauravas they have done to the Pandavas. But here, even after having happen, even after these all things happened to Pandavas and Arjuna, Arjuna is here showing these kinds of symptoms. Is this symptom out of fear that by seeing Bhishma, Arjuna became disturbed and bewildered that how can I kill Bhishma? He is so very powerful and I am very small mosquito and Bhishma is like eagle. So I cannot kill him. No, this was not the thought of Arjuna. Arjuna's thought was completely different. He was not thinking out of fear that, oh, how can I kill them? They are in such a great number. They are going to kill me. They are going to devastate the whole Pandavas. No, this was not the mentality of Arjuna. But yes, something material mentality was carried by Arjuna. So that is explained in the purport by Prabhupada. So here Arjuna is showing this symptom. His limbs of the bodies are quivering and mouth is dried up completely. So here in the purport, Prabhupada writes very good points which we can learn and derive some important learning from it. So I'll read. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning. Who? Arjuna. But he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver. So this quivering is out of compassion, not out of fear. And his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjuna. So here Prabhupada has mentioned one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Quoting the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, he is deriving a very good quality of Arjuna and all of us. So Arjuna, Prabhupada is writing in the purport from Srimad Bhagavatam that Yashasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvair Gunais Tatra Samashate Suraha Harao Abhaktasya Kuto Mahadguna Manorathe Nasti Dhavato Bhahi. Very important verse. This verse is quoted by Rishabh Deva, Lord Rishabh Deva, whose son is Bharat, on whose name this tract of land is called Bharatvarsh. Bharat, whose father is Rishabh Dev. So he is mentioning this verse in Bhagavatam, and Prabhupada has quoted here that one who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. So very important learning which we can derive from here. Prabhupada is referring verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that those who are devotee of Krishna, they have all the good qualities of demigods. That means they have divine qualities. What are these divine qualities? Means control of mind, control of senses, purity of the mind, compassion and mercy, truthfulness. So all these good qualities, they will have the knowledge of the self, knowledge of the universe, Gyan, Vigyan. So like this, Krishna has explained these qualities in 12th chapter. We'll discuss that also. So all these good qualities will be naturally manifested in the personality of a devotee who is a devotee of Krishna. On the other hand, anybody who is not devotee of Krishna, they cannot have any good quality because they are hovering on the mental platform. Manorathena, they are sitting on the chariot of the mind, and dhavato bahi, they are being attracted by the glaring material energy and running very, very fastly. So externally, superficially, this materialistic people, those who are not devotee of Krishna, they may show some good qualities of helping others or doing some charity or so many other activities. These so-called good people, those who are not devotee, they can show off these qualities, but actually these qualities are not actual their real quality because they are on the mental platform, so they can get attracted at any moment by material energy and get swayed away and start showing different quality altogether, which is completely in contrast. Today he may be very, very good, very nice, showing all the good qualities, very compassionate, very helping in nature, But on the other hand, if his sense gratification is hampered, he will immediately change and he will act like enemy. So this is the materialistic people because they calculate in material terms. अगर उनके साथ अच्छा आप कर रहे हैं, if you are helping them, they will do good to you. The moment their sense gratification is hampered by any of your activity, then immediately the contrast quality will come in them because they are on the mental plane. But those who are the devotees, they are not on the mental platform. They are not material. They are not in materialistic way of thinking. No, they think on the absolute platform that if it is to be done, it should be done, whether it is right or wrong, materially. But whether it is going to help me, whether it is going to benefit me, they don't care all these things. They only care whether it is right or wrong on the absolute plane. If it is right on the absolute plane, they will do. So this is a very good understanding which we can here understand. So there are many times we want to have good qualities. We want to break the bad habits and we want to develop good qualities. But we struggle a lot. Few days we will exhibit, but after that, that quality will be gone. Why? Because as long as we are not developing the quality of becoming a devotee of Krishna, we cannot have these qualities. Because these qualities are naturally there in our heart, but it is covered by material contamination. So when we become devotee, how to become devotee? When we chant Hare Krishna mantra, then what happens? Our heart gets purified. Our heart gets cleansed day by day. It is becoming more and more purified. It is getting cleansed. More we chant Hare Krishna, because this sound vibration is very, very powerful. It goes from our ears to the heart, and it does wonders in our heart. It purifies our heart, and our heart becomes pure. More our heart is pure, more will exhibit the good qualities, divine qualities. Because by nature, soul has all the good qualities, all the divine qualities soul possess. We all possess good qualities, divine qualities. But because of material contamination, the lust, greed, enviousness towards others, jealousy, pride, all these six base qualities are always haunting us. We are always influenced and overpowered by these six base qualities: lusty desires, greediness to achieve more and more. Even we don't want, there is no need, but there is so much of greed in society. So these are all the qualities which are covering our real, these are all bad qualities which are covering our real good qualities. So, but more when we chant Hare Krishna, naturally these six bad qualities will come down and good qualities will be manifested in our heart. So this is the understanding which we can derive from this verse. So this was the situation of Arjuna also. Because Arjuna was a great devotee of Krishna, so naturally he had a genuine compassion for all the soldiers, so that unnecessarily they will be killed here in this battlefield just for some material things which are temporary. So very nicely Prabhupada has mentioned here. Now next, what happened to Arjuna? वेपतुष्य शरीरे में रोम हर्षश्च जायते गांडीवम शमसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते. Means वेपथुश्च शरीरे में, जो शरीर है कृष्ण अर्जुन का जो शरीर है, it is trembling. रोम हर्षश्च जायते, and hairs are standing on the end. बाल खड़े हो गए अर्जुन के एंड पूरा शरीर कांप रहा है. गांडीवम, अर्जुना का जो बो था उसका नेम था गांडीव. So Gandivam Shramsate Hastat. His Gandiva bow is slipping down. It is gliding down. Twakshaiva Paridayate. And Twak means skin. The skin of Arjuna is burning. Just see, these are all the symptoms Arjuna is showing here. My whole body is trembling and my hair is standing on end. My Gandiva bow is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning. Next, न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मत मनः निमितानि च पश्यामि viparitani Keshava. So here Arjuna is referring to Krishna. O Keshava, na cha shaknomi avasthatum. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. Arjuna is saying, my mind is reeling, Krishna. I foresee only evil, O killer of the Kesi demon. So here Arjuna is referring Krishna as Keshava. Keshava means the killer of Kesi demon. So Arjuna is exhibiting these qualities of his Gandiva bow, which is very, very famous. It is gliding down. His whole body is trembling, and his hairs are standing on end, and his mind is reeling. All these qualities is shown by Arjuna, and now he is saying, Arjuna Krishna, I am seeing only evil. Why we are assembled here to fight? So very important, good point Prabhupada is mentioning here again in the purport. Excessive attachment for material things puts a man in bewildering condition of existence. Bhayam dvitiya bhiniveshatah. Such fearfulness and loss of mental equilibrium take place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. ये बहुत ही important learning है हम लोगों के लिए. Why we are into fearful and bewildering condition? Because Bhayam, this is again from Srimad Bhagavatam, this verse. Dvitiya abhiniveshatah. Dvitiya means another, second. Abhiniveshata means invested. Because we have taken another identity that I am this body, therefore this bhaya. Bhaya means fear is there. Why do we fear? Because of taking another identity. What is that identity? That I am this body, I belong to this material world, and anybody who is related to this body, who is connected to this body, they are my own relatives, they are my own people. So Arjuna is also thinking the same way. Arjuna is thinking is material. He is thinking that these are all who are assembled here, they are my own people, because Arjuna is thinking that he is his body. Therefore, anybody who is connected to the body, Arjuna is considering them as his own self. So therefore, this bewildering condition is there to Arjuna. Why Arjuna is getting bewildered? Because of thinking in terms of the body, and he is very much attached. Prabhupada is writing here, who are too affected by material conditions. So we lose our mental equilibrium out of fearlessness, fearfulness. So this is the situation of Arjuna here, because he is not identifying himself in terms of the spirit soul beyond the body. He is thinking himself that he belongs to this family of Bhishma, and Bhishma belongs to his family. So therefore Arjuna is getting bewildered. So here we should also understand that anytime we are into this fearful and bewildering situation, we should understand that we are materially very much attached. If we are excessively attached, this is not very good. Attachment will be there naturally because we have lived with our people, near and dear ones, with so many years. So naturally, if anything happens, we'll be disturbed. But excessive attachment is not very good. This will create a problem in us, because sooner or later we are going to be separated. We'll not be here in this world always together, having very goody goody life, sharing all the emotions, sharing all the feelings with another people, our near and dear ones, our family relatives. Uh, they are all fallible soldiers. As in Bhagavatam says, Deha Patya Kalatra Adishu Atma Sanyeshu Sapsapi. They are all fallible. They are not infallible. This body with whom we are so much attached, We all are very much attached to this body, so much concerned with this body. Anything happens to this body, we become so much disturbed because we have excessive attachment with this body. And we are not this body. We are the occupier of this body. We are not the body. Just like we possess different things, mobile phone, laptop. So we don't identify so much with this external things. Anything if anything happens to these external things, we are disturbed, but not so very disturbed. But yes, if we are so very attached to these things, we will be disturbed very much. But they are not, they are separated from us, so will not be so much disturbed. In the same way, this body is also not us. We are not this body. We are separate from the body. We are experiencer and observer of this body. We are not the body. We occupy this body. We are something higher beyond than this body. So we should not be in this bodily conception of life. If we are leading our life in this bodily concept, then we are bound to get frustrated. So it is said that if our happiness is in terms of the body, or if our happiness is in terms of anything which is related to body, then we are bound to get disappointed. We are bound to get disappointed because we are thinking that this body will give me pleasure, or anything which is related to this body is going to give me pleasure. This is the biggest mistaken understanding in today's civilization. Everybody is very much convinced that I am this body and you are your body. He is you, his body, she is her body, he is his body, all are their body, and me is also my body. This is what the understanding which is prevailed in the mind of the people. And therefore, there is large scale quarrel, hypocrisy, fight, discontentment of the heart, cheating, all these bad things are happening because everybody is thinking in terms of the body, and they are busily engaged in satisfying the bodily demands. But bodily demands are not going to satisfy us because we are beyond the body. So therefore there is always dissatisfaction in the heart. Even if you achieve something, you get your desirable, even after that we will be dissatisfied because we are not this body. Ditya Biniveshatasya. Here it is written, we have accepted another body, another identity, which is not ours. So we have to come in our actual identity, which is not our, you know, which is our actual identity, our actual constitutional position. We have to come in that condition. And if we are there in that understanding, then naturally we'll be always blissful. There will be no fear of existence. Okay. Next verse, next and last verse of today. न च श्रेयो अनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजन आहवे न कांक्षे विजयम कृष्ण न च राज्यम सुखानि च. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. So now Arjuna, just see, Arjuna is giving all the ethical reason, moral reason, humanitarian reason, different kinds of reasoning Arjuna is giving and showing all these symptoms. And finally, Arjuna will say that Krishna, I am not seeing any good thing in this battlefield. I am seeing only, just last slok mein Arjuna ne bol diya, I am seeing only evil here in this battlefield, in this fight. And here also again Arjuna is saying that I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen. कोई अपने आप को मारने से अच्छा होगा क्या? चलो ठीक है, अपने आप लोगों को मार के मैं राज्य मुझे मिल भी गया, then whether I will feel to enjoy that kingdom? Will I not feel, I have killed so many men to occupy this throne? Will this thought will not haunt me always, Krishna? So these are all the thoughts and understanding which Arjuna is putting forth and saying that मुझे नहीं लगता ये किंगडम अगर मिल भी जाए तो हम खुश होंगे. In the purport, very nice point Prabhupada makes. Without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationship, hoping to be happy in such situations. Under delusion, they forget that Krishna is also the cause of material happiness. Sometimes we are so much attached materially, we think that our happiness is only in terms of bodily relationship. हमें लगता है कि मटेरियल एक्सटर्नल अरेंजमेंट अगर सही है देन वी विल बी हैप्पी. वी फॉरगेट दैट material happiness is also caused by Krishna. Unless Krishna bless you, we cannot be in happy situation. Even though externally everything is there, you have good financial income, you have good physical strength, everything is there. But somewhere you will feel dissatisfaction, discontentment because happiness comes by Krishna. Happiness is caused by Krishna. So this is another delusion which under which whole world is there today. So once Krishna is there in the scene, Krishna is brought in life, naturally we'll be happy without any motivation. There is no external motive to be happy because happiness is our own wealth, our own treasure. It is soul's treasure. There is no need for the soul to strive for happiness. No, happiness is naturally there with the soul. Happiness cannot be separated, but because of material conditioning, forgetfulness of Krishna, because we have forgotten Krishna, our relationship with Krishna, we are into suffering situation. So now with this, I'll stop here. And one announcement, very important announcement. Very soon we are going to start our morning chanting program because every now and then we are seeing here in Bhagavad Gita that unless we revive our relationship with Krishna, we are not going to be happy. So the best way to revive our relationship is Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. So very soon we are going to start our morning program from 6:15 to 7:15. And I request everyone to participate. After this holy festival, I will start. So you be prepared, and this will give you motivation also to get up early in the morning. Many times we try to get up, but there is no motivation. There is no driving force by which we are driven and get up early in the morning. We jump out of the bed. There is no such reasoning. We sometimes make many plans like सुबह उठ के जिम जाएंगे, थोड़ा खेलेंगे. Few days it goes, but then again we become weak and we are sleeping in the bed till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. But here we'll have one genuine reason and motivation and inner strength also will get a mercy of the Lord and will easily able to get up early in the morning for a good divine cause. And if we can follow this every day without fail, we'll become a very successful people, very refined person from inside and outside also. So, okay, with this, I'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, you can continue your other work. Hare Krishna.